Okay, we have Erion Zekthi back on the show, who's going to be facing Kasey Tanner next on April the 9th at Shamrock 337. How are you, sir?
I'm well, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. It's nice to talk to you again. I believe the last time that we did speak, you had a nice Von Flue choke victory. You followed that up in October with a round one win over Justin King. I'd just like to start there. I know anytime that you can get in there, get your opponent out of there in the first round, that's got to be the objective. Looking back on that fight now, how pleased are you with everything that transpired?
Yeah, I mean, I think that fight went like exactly how I kind of predicted it, which is nice because it means that like what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling is like right. You know what I mean? Like it's one thing if I say like, oh, I'm gonna knock him out in the first round, and then it's like a 3-round war. Then I'm like, okay, what miscalculations did I do? What did I think that was wrong? You know what I mean? So whenever I can kind of like have a prediction in my head of like how a fight will go, and it just kind of like carries out exactly how I thought. It's just a nice feeling. It means that I'm knowledgeable about this game.
100%. And again, first round finish, nice tip of the cap to you. Big win over a tough opponent. What has life been like for you since, man? Has you just been staying in the gym, staying consistent with your training, or has work been keeping you up?
Yeah. So I mean, what's nice is at the gym, I'm kind of taking more of like I don't want to say coaching role, but like a mentor role for some of the younger fighters. You know what I mean? Which is actually kind of having a positive impact on me. I used to like just train for fights, and then like I would kind of fall off the wagon. You know what I mean? And then whenever another fight would line up, then I'd start training hard again. Now, because I have so many people not necessarily like reliant on me, but looking to me to be at the gym consistently, to give criticism or feedback or show them some stuff, or cater trainings to them. It's been a very pleasant transition in my life to also help those guys, and in turn keeps me in the gym, which is actually helping me. So it's a little selfish thing. It's good for me, but also it's and also like sitting there and trying to teach makes you like go back and understand like the fundamental steps and everything that you're doing. I think teaching is it's a really good way to learn for yourself and kind of revisit some of the things that you thought you knew. Because like there was just a lot of stuff that I was kind of skipping because I had known them, and then trying to explain it to someone who's like green or has never seen the concept before, to break down skill sets or submissions or combinations down to like the core. It forces you to analyze and really like bring up that knowledge, which is good for me.
Yeah, and it's got to be a good feeling too, from a teaching perspective, to be able to really translate your knowledge, onto these fighters that are a little bit younger in their career, or if it's just someone that's trying to learn the basics. It's got to be a pretty good feeling to know that you're helping them, with their knowledge base.
Oh, it's bittersweet though, because the better they get, the better rounds they start to give me. I had some guys that I used to just like dog, like I would walk through them, and now like after like a year of training, I'm like, Jesus, like these rounds are getting tough. So I liked it better when I was just walking through them. But no, it's a bittersweet feeling. Like you feel good that like what you're showing them, because martial arts were shown to me. Like we only borrow the knowledge. Like it's given to you, and then you give it to somebody else. So it's kind of cool to just see how like these guys are progressing, and then iron sharpens iron. So like I might not necessarily see it in myself, but I know that by getting them better, they're also getting me better.
Now, as I mentioned earlier, you had that last win in October. Is this by your game plan to take a little time off, or were you hoping to get in the cage a little bit sooner than April 9th?
Believe it or not, it's tough to find fights. It's tough to find fights that make sense. It's tough to find fights. There's a whole aspect to fighting that people don't see, that I could sit here and talk about for 2 hours, between everyone trying to play this game of trying to get signed to the UFC or Bellator by taking the fights that they need, not necessarily the fights that'll test them. Combination with like promotions working with fighters and trying to like work with management groups and trying to get the fights, but like maybe under certain means. Like I think you'd be surprised at how many fights I've been offered on 2 weeks notice. You know what I mean? Not like a full camp, like, hey, this guy wants to fight you in, 2 months or whatever. It's like, hey, this 7-0 killer, we need somebody on short notice. Do you want to come in? Like, and then it's funny because like when you tell them like, yeah, I mean, I'll fight the guy, but not on this show. Like, give me a full camp, I'll fight him. Suddenly it's crickets. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, it wasn't my intention to wait this long. Shamrock and we were supposed to do something in December, but there were 3 fighters that we kind of had lined up, and for one reason or another, they didn't want to fight or couldn't fight. And Kasey was actually me and Kasey were supposed to be slated in December, but he's coming off like a long injury or something like that. So he said he needed some more time for the camp, which I can respect. I think that you should get a full camp if you're going to fight me. So I was like, yeah, dope. I'll see you in April. That's kind of how this fight came to fruition and how it got pushed to April. So we had 2 guys originally, and then Kasey would have given like about a month, like 5 weeks notice. But and he was right. He's like, hey, for this kind of fight, like I'm gonna need a full camp. I'm coming off an injury. Like I was like, dope, let's do it. Give me the best version of you can bring.
Now your last fight was at 145. Is this going to be back down at bantamweight?
Yeah, I fought a bantamweight at featherweight. We originally were going to do it at a catchweight because he needed some weight, and I was like, that's fine, I don't really care. But then I thought to myself, like, why are we doing it at 140? 140 is not really a weight class. Like at this point, might as well just do it at 145. You know what I mean? Like it helps with the algorithms, helps with the rankings, all that other shit. So all that stuff's important to me until I get signed to a big promotion. You know what I mean? Now, when you Google my name, I'm ranked in featherweight and bantamweight, but I'm not really a featherweight. You know, I fought a bantamweight at featherweight. Versus if we were to fight at 140, it just looks like a catchweight. It looks like one of us couldn't make weight. You know what I mean? It's just better aesthetically. That's all it is. So I don't really have any goals for 145 or any aspirations for it. 135 is my home. Maybe if I ever get like older and cutting weight is harder, maybe 145, but I just don't have the frame for it. You know, I'm 5'7.5". With my reach, with my range, it's not a good weight class for me.
Sure, understood. So these short notice fights that you're being offered, right? The ones that you're getting on a couple of week notice, are those at bantamweight or are those at a different weight class?
Oh man, all of them. Featherweight. I got offered one at 155, one at 125, one was like a catchweight at 130. They'll offer. Here's what I think. I think there's a lot of fighters that are backed up into corners in their life where maybe they need the money, maybe they need the opportunities, what have you, and they're just gonna bite at anything that they can get. You know what I mean? I'm not that guy. I could go the rest of my career never going to the UFC, never going to Bellator, and being fine. I can go the rest of my career taking only the fights that make sense, you know, on my cadence when my schedule fits and makes sense for me. I fight because I like to fight. I don't fight because I have to fight. And I think that's kind of like what, I don't want to say irritates them, but gives me the bargaining chip. Hey, we need you on 2 weeks notice. No, I'm good. I don't need the money. I'm fine. Hey, we want you, you know, there was one that was like, I had to travel to Canada and they're like, you have to get vaccinated and all this other stuff. And I was like, yeah, I don't feel like doing all that. So I'm good. You know what I mean? It was just like a bunch of shit that there's a bunch of hoops that they want you to jump through and that I'm just not willing to jump through. I'm down to fight anybody on this planet. Give me a full camp. I'll go anywhere you want as long as I don't have to do some stupid shit. But I know the games they're trying to play. You know what I mean? I know the games they're trying to play because their promotions here, like everyone does it. Everyone does it. You know, when you go to another city to fight some hometown kid on the local promotion, they're not bringing you over there to win, which is fine. I don't need that hometown advantage, but I'm also not trying to do it on like where the chips are stacked against me and all this other shit. Just give me a fair shake. Like, let me put it this way. Kasey Tanner, I'm giving him a fair shake. Hey, you don't want to do it on 5 weeks notice? You need a full camp? Dope. Let's do it. Like, let me know what you need. Let me make this as easy as possible for you so you can come in, take this L, and then move on your way. But at least when he loses, he won't feel like, oh, he didn't get a fair shake or the promotion was against him or this, that, or the other. No, bro. It's as even as I can possibly make. You know what I mean? I want him to feel at home.
So let's talk about, you know, what could be next for you. I mean, obviously Kasey Tanner is next, right? But you're 6-1 now. If you beat this guy, you'll give him the first loss of his pro career, right? So that's an impressive win. That moves you to 7-1. You seem like you'd be the perfect candidate for maybe a contender series shot. Like, where do you feel you are right now at this stage in your career?
So, you know, Dana White's contender series is, I think, going up again in like June, July, the next like season that they're doing. And to your point, yeah, I mean, I would be 7-1 coming off another finish against an undefeated opponent, an up and coming guy who, by the way, is older than me. You know what I mean? I would love the opportunity, but I I don't care. I used to care. I just don't care anymore. I think that when people put so much of an emphasis on what they want to do, they kind of sometimes give up maybe the best opportunity. I'll give you a prime example. When I first started my MMA career, like I was like UFC or bust. You know what I mean? Like only the UFC, all these other things. Now, since then, the landscape has changed, and you hear from more and more people on the inside, and it just the same stories are resonating with that promotion that for a guy like me who doesn't need to fight makes me go, well, at the end of the day, I'm going to fight for whoever pays me the most and the opportunities make the most sense. So if it's the UFC, if it's Bellator, or if it's one, I really don't give a shit. You know what I mean? Like whoever offers me the most money to fight will get. That's my plan right now. Like I used to want to be the champion of a promotion. Now I'm just as much money as I can make until I'm done with this.
All right. Well, let's talk a little bit about just the Shamrock FC promotion. As we were doing this interview, Edson texted me and he said that tickets are now on sale. You go to the website, you can get tickets for the April night show, Shamrock 337. So just tell me, what makes them such a good promotion? Because they clearly are one of the better ones in the country regionally.
Yeah, I mean, I got lucky. I'm a culmination of like right time, right timing, right place, right everything. I had great coaches when I first started, and to have a promotion like Shamrock in the backseat, of our Ameristar is 25 minutes from my house. River City is 15 minutes from my house. And even if they have a KC show, that's a 2-hour drive. You know what I mean? I don't even have to get on a plane for any of the events. Coupled with the fact that they put in so much money in terms of production and they do all the like marketing for me. So like all the Facebook posts, all the social media stuff, setting up interviews like this. I don't have to really lift a finger, which is nice because then I can just concentrate on the shit that matters, training, getting ready for the fights. You know what I mean? I can't put it into clear words how much value there is for young fighters or just any fighters in general to have a promotion near to them. There's a reason why I've only had all of my pro fights with Shamrock. There's a reason for that. You know what I mean? They've always done right by me. Got me the fights when I wanted them. If I wanted to take a year off, they're like, cool, we'll see you in a year. You know what I mean? If I didn't want to fight some guy because the record was bad or some shit like that, they never gave me any trouble. You know what I mean? Like it was like, here's the toughest guys we can find you. Have at it. So I can't really thank them enough. Like if I make it to the next level, it's really a testament to their promotion. I mean, they did a good job promoting me, promoting the events. And I can't thank them enough. It's a symbiotic relationship. Fighters need promotions, promotions need fighters. However, it's like a fraction, right? How many promotions are there compared to how many fighters? So don't get it twisted. I mean, they are, in my opinion, the more important, right? Like, yes, you can't have a fight promotion without fighters, but if it wasn't me, it'd be someone else.
All right, very, very well said, my man. Let's talk about your opponent, Kasey Tanner. He's 5-0. When you look at him stylistically, what are you expecting come fight night? How do you see yourself getting your hand raised?
I don't want to point out the things he does that I will take advantage of, but I mean, at this level is the same thing I said about Justin King and even Dylan Tolbert before him. Like at this level, he's tough, he's athletic, he's in shape, he's mentally prepared, all these other things. But like all of those traits are no longer accolades. They are the barrier to entry. To get to this point in fighting, everyone is tough, everyone is athletic and fast and all these other things. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to sit here and like tell you about the things that I think he should be. The things that I think he does exceptionally is he's pretty poised, for a fighter. Like he's pretty technical and orthodox in there. But he's 5-0 against guys that I don't think are on par with me. And I think I've heard like 1,000 interviews where guys say that. But I truly mean that in the sense that I'm a motherfucker. When I'm in that cage, I'm in there to take your fucking head off. I'm not in there to like, make friends and all this other shit. I'm trying to put you away as fast as possible. And I'm just trying to cause damage. I'm trying to be violent about it if I can, or I'll be sneaky with it if I have to. But make no mistake, You know, he goes to decisions with these guys because he is so orthodox, and his style is one of grinding and getting you tired and all that. And he likes to push the pace on people. Good luck. Good luck with me. You know, there's not a man on this planet at 135 pounds that can push the pace on me. There's not a man on this planet at 135 pounds that can go 5 rounds with me without getting finished. I guarantee that. This fight will not go the distance. He makes too many mistakes in terms of things like defensively, and he kind of just throws caution to the wind in order to do some offensive maneuvers that against a guy like me, dude, my last 2 finishes, I think, are exemplary of what I'm trying to say. Is like Dylan had me in a guillotine, and I got the Von Flue, I believe, from half guard. Justin King I went for a head kick. He caught my leg, and he thought he was going to take me down, and I knocked him out on one leg. I'm looking to hit you or cause damage or submit you from all positions. You're never fucking safe with me. And I don't think I don't think Kasey Tanner has ever fought someone as dangerous as me and as mentally prepared. I'm ready to fuck this guy up.
I love your mindset, and I definitely will be watching this upcoming fight for sure. Again, April 9th, Erion Zekthi, Kasey Tanner, Shamrock 337. Before I do let you go, I want to get your Super Bowl pick, man. Who's going to win? You got the Bengals or you got the Rams?
You know, it's funny. Little side story here in St. Louis, the Rams are very much hated simply because they used to be the St. Louis Rams, and then the owners like moved it to LA because it just wasn't like financially stable here. I want the Rams to win simply because when I was little, that was the team I was rooting for, and regardless if they are in LA or even before they came to St. Louis, I think they were in LA before that. But like the Rams are kind of like my hometown team, so I'm gonna root for the Rams. However, if they lose, I know that all of St. Louis will be happy. So I think I'm probably like the only St. Louis guy right now that's say that. I think they can win. I think they got the roster and the talent. But I think Bengals look good this year. So I don't know. Who I want to win, Rams. Who I think will win, I have no fucking clue.
Well, I'm from New England. If you can't tell behind me, I'm a little bit of a Tom Brady fan. So today's a rough day for me, man. I'll just end it on that. I don't care who wins. My guy's out. My team's no good right now. So it is what it is. We're spoiled.
Hey,
yeah.
It ain't bad to be a fan of the GOAT though. So I mean, at least he had a great career.
Exactly. Tell people where to follow you on social media, my man. And if you have anyone to thank, any sponsors, floor's yours.
Shit. I'm always bad at this stuff. You can follow me on Instagram. That's really where I don't really do anything on Twitter. Facebook's more like personal stuff, but Instagram is the easiest way to like kind of follow me, get a hold of me if you want to reach out to me. I'm at the Albanian one. As far as sponsors go, HW Kia West County, they took really good care of me this camp. Bought all the shirts and everything for just kind of like promoting myself. And obviously Shamrock FC, the promotion, I think without them, without giving me the platform, obviously you and I wouldn't be talking right now. And to you, man, shout out to you. Thank you for doing this, because without you, I'm just talking to a wall.